Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Paper Crafts here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in central Scotland. Welcome back to another project, and today I'm going to show you how I made this tall, slim milk carton. And I made this specifically to fit a Tropic Skincare mini shower gel. These are amongst my favourites. I use a lot of Tropic myself, and I actually am an ambassador for Tropic as well as a demonstrator for Stampin' Up. I feel quite strongly about being eco-friendly and cruelty-free, and all Tropic's products are exactly that. They're suitable for vegans, completely natural products used in them, and we do ship internationally as well. So if you're keen to hear more about Tropic, then do drop me a message, and I'll tell you more about it. But today we're concentrating on the paper craft side of it, which is this box here. So I made this in greens, obviously, to fit this shower gel, or to match it rather, and I used soft sea foam cardstock, and I used up some scraps of the Garden Lane DSP, which is retiring with this year's annual catalogue when the new catalogue launches, but it is a good way of using up some scraps because it doesn't use a lot at all. The sentiment is from our COVID-19 fundraising downloadable PDF, and I think this is Granny Apple Green that is the colour in this sentiment, but that's okay. Who says you can't use that with the other greens that are in this paper? And I've actually taken the sparkly gems from, if I can find them over here, one of our new products that's just arrived. This is in my pre-order from the new annual catalogue that launches in a couple of weeks' time, and this is the Flowers for Every Season gems, and they're just beautiful. You've got little whisper white, sort of semi-opaque dots, and in Just Jade, one of our new in colours, there are some faceted gems too in varying sizes, so they're just gorgeous. So I borrowed some of those, something old, something new. And this is the Whisper White polka dot tulle ribbon, which I've tied the bow with here. So this time round I'm going to make a box to fit another mini shower gel, which is a kind of pinky colour. So I'm going to use scraps of my Parisian Blossoms designer series paper, which retires from this year's spring summer mini catalogue, and a piece of petal pink cardstock. So to make it, you're going to need a piece of cardstock which measures 8 inches by 6.5 inches, and then you're going to need 4 scraps of DSP, each which measure 1.25 inches by 4.5, and then you'll need 2 pieces which measure 1.25 by 3/4. And I'm just keeping these ones together here. I'll put them over because the pattern actually carries on, because one's going to sit above the other, but you'll see what I mean when I put my box together. So let's do a bit of scoring to start with. So on the short side, on the 6.5 inch side, score at 1.5, 3, 4.5 and 6 inches. Then turn it around and score at 1.5, and then at 6.25. I had to think there. And then flip it over and score at 7.25. I'm just having to think a bit there. And then turn it back round to your original side and make a small score at 3/4 inch down to that first score line just, and then 3 3/4 again just down to that score line there. And then we're going to do a little bit more scoring, but without the scoreboard. So to make these little bits that go in here, you're going to grab a ruler, and I've just lost mine. I had it 2 minutes ago. There we are. and you're going to put diagonal scores here and here to make a bit of a triangle. So always start with your ball tool in the cross between those score lines and leave enough room for it to fit here. If you put it straight to the bottom of that score line, you're going to find that your score goes off a little bit. So just make sure you've got enough room for your ball tool to meet the bottom of that score line there, because you've got to allow for the width of that little ball on the end of your scoring tool. And the same again here. Just make sure you press kind of firmly. I'm having to check where that is because again it's not great weather here, so we've not got fabulous light today. I just want to make sure that I'm putting my score line in the right place, and you'll have something that looks like that once you're finished. And then we're going to ignore them for the time being. So fold and burnish on all the score lines that we've just made. And then fold this score line for the bottom. Now this one here we're going to fold that way, but this one that we scored the other way round we're going to fold back so that you've got that kind of shape. And again, that's what makes this shape at the top here. So there's almost zero waste with this piece of card. What we're going to do is just on this 1/2 inch panel here, we're going to cut up the score line like so and just notch that at a bit, oops, of an angle. And then we're just going to take a tiny bit off at the top there as well. So really, unless you tear a bit like I just did, that's all the waste that you're going to have when you do your cutting, which is fabulous, because sometimes we make projects and we think, gosh, what a waste, all those extra bits of card, which obviously you can use for other things and keep them for scraps, but this, there's almost zero waste from this box. So then I've just cut up the middle of those score lines to meet that horizontal score line there, and that's what's going to form the base of my box. So I'm just going to add a few bits of tape and just make sure. So this part here is going to be my front panel, which I'll fold down last. And I'm just going to add a couple of pieces of tear and tape just so that it holds the weight of the shower gel. And then obviously these are the side panels, this is the back panel, and so that I don't have any gaping at the bottom of my box, I'm just going to add a bit of tear and tape down either side to hold that down. And then I'm going to add a piece of tape along just beside that score line and take it right to the top like that. And I'm going to grab my ruler again just to make sure I get a nice straight edge at the top. And then what I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to glue my pieces of DSP on. So these don't need to have matching panels, sorry, these two, get rid of that here, these two don't have to have matching panels on the top, so we'll stick these on first. So a little bit of glue around the edges of this, and pop it in the middle of my panel there, and that looks okay, I think. Oops. I should really just leave it alone. Once I've stuck it down, I should leave it alone because I think it's squint, and then I move it and then it is squint, so it was obviously straight in the first place. So this time let's not move it, Karen, just leave it alone. See if I can manage it. So just check if that's even, and I'm fairly happy with that. So there we are, leave it alone. So these are the panels that have the little bits on the top that match. It's not that important, it's just it lets the pattern continue through both bits of the paper, that's all. There we go. A little bit of glue around this too. And then I just need to make sure that, is that the right way? No, it was the right way the first time round. Oops, I think. And now I have no idea. Oh my goodness me, there we are. What a palaver, Karen. There we go. So I'll just leave that in peace there. I'll try not to drop this piece. And I daren't say it, but so far so good. I'm not covered in glue, but famous last words and all that, because I usually do end up covered. But hopefully I'll manage a project without getting covered in glue, and I'm hoping that today's project will be it. There we go, and then I just want to double check that it's that way round there. So a little bit of glue around the edges here, just take those thicker bits away because I don't want them to squish out the sides. There we are. That looks okay. There we are. So just give these a little rub on the inside of my box, and I'm ready to stick my box together. So put the lid on my glue, and then I'm just going to take the backing off my tape, bring this over and stick it down. And I'm just going to give it, because it's a square shape, it'll fold both ways, just to let me give it a rub so that I know that my seam is joined together. And I don't know if anybody noticed the deliberate mistake on this box here. This is actually the back of my box, because here's my seam here and here's the seam for the bottom flaps. This is the front of my box, so I should have had my bow here and my sentiment here, but I'll get it right this time, hopefully anyway. So I'm going to fold in my two sides and then the back flap. Like so, and then just bring that front flap down last of all. There we are. And then I'm going to keep this join at the back, and on these little scores that we did on the top 3/4 inch panel, I'm just going to squeeze those in and together, and that pulls that top in perfectly. So because I'm punching through 4 pieces of cardstock, it's the thickness of 4 pieces, I'm actually going to use my crocodile just to add the holes for my ribbon, and about there on both sides, just holding it together till I get the holes made, and about there. And then this time round I'm going to use the organdy striped ribbon, which is in petal pink, to join my box together. Now I'm going to borrow a little clip. These are long retired clips. I can't remember, maybe a couple of years ago we had these. They're little the little mini bulldog clips. I do miss them. But noticing this is where my seam is, so I want to turn it back round this way. And I'm just going to pop my ribbon through here and back through here. And just make sure I've got enough. I just want to make sure that's straight. There we go. Just cut off enough to tie a bow, but I'll keep the clip on until I've done that. So here we go. Let's see if it works. I know I've not put my shower gel in, but I will do later. Bring that round and through. Get a hold of it. There we are. And just adjust the size of the loops on my bow. And that's not too bad at all. I'm not going to faff about too much, and just straighten up these edges here. There we are. And then I'm going to grab my sentiment, which is underneath a pile of stuff. So, wish this were a real hug, and again, I think it will match, but I'm sure this is actually Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to use my, now, is it Label Me Lovely or Label Me Pretty? I think it's Label Me Pretty. I can't remember, that's shocking. Punch, which was new in the Spring Summer mini catalogue, but it is carrying over into the new annual catalogue, and I'm just leaving a bigger gap at the bottom here to put some embellishments on, but I just want to make sure that I've got it equidistant on either side, and I'm happy enough with that. And I just like to flatten down any little bits that have come up as I punched. And then this time round I'm going back to something that I've not used for a wee while, and that's my champagne rhinestones. So I think I might put a medium-sized one in the middle, and I'm just going to line it up on my grid paper. So it's kind of there, I think, the middle, and then a couple of the smaller ones on either side. So one about there and one about there, and I think that's fairly even. It maybe could have been over a little bit. There we are, that'll do. And then on the back I just added a couple of dimensionals and stuck it onto my box. So one there and one there. Getting it right this time with the front of the box, and just making sure that that's kind of centred top to bottom and side to side. I can get rid of my clip, and that's my box made. So that's both my boxes. I can't decide between the two. I actually like them both, and my mini shower gels as well. So if you like any of the products that I've used in my projects today, give me a shout and I'll be more than happy to speak to you about it. The link to my shop will also be in the description bar below, and if you want to know anything more about Tropic, then do get in touch as well, and I'll be more than happy to tell you about the Tropic products too. But they're quite dainty, they do go a long way, and I think the boxes are just pretty to add to a nice little personal gift. So that's it for today. Thanks again for dropping in and for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.